Have you ever felt like no matter what you do, managing money is just an uphill battle? Well, it turns out the problem isn't your spreadsheet and it's not your willpower. The problem is your brain. And the answer, you see, isn't in a modern bank account, but deep, deep in our evolutionary past. Let's start with a number. Over a lifetime of work, the average American will earn around $1.7 million. Just let that sink in. It's a really significant amount of money. And yet, the average American retires with less than $87,000 saved. Now, just look at those two numbers side by side. There's this huge, gaping disconnect. Where does it all go? And that gets to the heart of it. That gap, it's not a failure of arithmetic. It's a failure of our own internal wiring. It's a brain failure. And to really understand why, we've got to go back in time, way, way back. This brings us to what we can call the evolutionary trap. We're about to see how the very software that kept us alive for hundreds of thousands of years is now, well, actively working against our financial well-being. Just think about this for a second. The core operating system in your head was written for survival on the savannah about 300,000 years ago. But this world of stocks, credit cards, and 401ks, that's only been around for about 300 years. That is a profound mismatch. You see, deep inside your brain, you have this thing called the amygdala. It's your ancient fear center. And when you're stressed about a bill, about the market, it hijacks your thinking. It just screams, "Survive today!" And that scream, it completely drowns out that quiet, rational voice suggesting you save for a retirement that's 40 years away. The Nobel laureate Daniel Kahneman gave us this brilliant way to picture this inner conflict. It's like you've got two minds. System 1 is your ancient, impulsive pilot. It's all gut feelings and snap judgments. System 2 is your modern, logical co-pilot. It does the math. The problem is, System 1 is almost always flying the plane, especially when money is involved. Now, this ancient wiring doesn't just react to fear, it also actively hunts for pleasure. And that takes us right into the chemistry of spending, what we can call the instant reward loop. We've all heard dopamine called the pleasure molecule, but it turns out that's not quite the whole story. Research from Stanford actually shows it's more like the anticipation molecule. Your brain releases it before you buy the thing, right when you click Add to Cart. It's the thrill of the hunt, not the prize itself, that we get hooked on. And just how powerful is this loop? Get this. A study from MIT found that people are willing to spend up to 83% more for the exact same item when they use a credit card instead of cash. 83%. That's not a rounding error. That's a fundamental shift in our behavior. And here's why it works so well. A credit card is basically a piece of technology perfectly engineered to exploit our brain chemistry. It gives you that full hit of dopamine from the anticipation, but with none of the immediate physical pain of handing over cash. The pleasure is right now. The pain is just some number on a screen, weeks from now. Okay, so we've got an ancient brain. We've got a chemical reward system pushing us to spend. And on top of all that, our mental software comes with a few default settings, some predictable bugs that mess with our financial decisions. We're going to walk through 3 of the really big ones. There's present bias, the availability heuristic, and social comparison. Think of these as running in the background of your mind, shaping your choices when you're not even looking. First up is present bias. We are just wired to want things now. That $5 coffee today feels so much more real and valuable than, say, $100 in a retirement account that's decades away. We discount the future at this irrational, staggering rate, which makes prioritizing long-term goals feel almost impossible. Next up, the availability heuristic. Our brain builds its model of the world based on what it can easily see. So you see your neighbor's new car. You see your friend's vacation photos on Instagram. You don't see their retirement account balance. You don't see their index funds quietly compounding. So your brain naturally concludes that wealth must be spending because that's the only evidence it has. And finally, there's social comparison. And this one runs deep. It's primate hardwiring. We are constantly, subconsciously scanning our environment to see where we fit in the social hierarchy. In our modern world, that instinct just translates to keeping up with the Joneses. It's not really about greed. It's about a deep instinctual need to maintain our status within the tribe. So yeah, it sounds pretty bleak, doesn't it? Our brains are ancient, they're chemically compromised, and they're full of bugs. But here's the good news. You don't need a new brain. You just need a simple system patch. This is probably the single most important thing to take away from all of this. Your brain isn't broken. You are not bad with money. You are simply running software that was designed for a very, very different world. And the goal isn't to feel guilty about it, it's just to understand it. Because, let's be honest, you are going to lose a direct fight with 300,000 years of evolution. Your willpower is a finite resource, and it will run out. The truly strategic move is to stop fighting, and instead, just build systems that bypass the faulty wiring altogether. And the single most effective system patch is this: automation. Just set up an automatic transfer from your checking to your savings or investment account for the day you get paid. This is what it means to pay yourself first. It makes saving the default action, not an active choice. It bypasses the amygdala, it sidesteps those dopamine loops, and it makes all those cognitive bugs basically irrelevant. You beat the system by taking your impulsive brain out of the equation. So, I'll leave you with this one question. It's not about creating some complex, perfect budget. It's not about promising to be more disciplined from now on. It's much, much simpler. What is the one financial decision you could put on autopilot right now to start working with your brain instead of against it?